Welcome back. I just want to say that there are no shortcuts in life, right? When you take shortcuts in life, in my perspective, in my opinion, when you take shortcuts in life, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? You're doing yourself a big disservice because when you take shortcuts, you're eliminating experiences in life. There's point A to point B, right? In order to get to point A to point B, you gotta get to all these stop this checkpoints, right? If you can get to, if you just can get a shortcut to your point A to point B, you're gonna do yourself a disservice by eliminating all these experiences that you need to get to point B, right? For instance, if your goal is to be rich, right? To If your goal is to be rich, how do you maintain your wealth, right? Well, people who built their wealth the long way instead of taking the shortcut, right? They built their wealth by experiences they gained in life, right? By 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 incidents that happen in life to make them gain experiences, by the mistake they make in life make them gain experiences so they could avoid um, these experiences later on in the future. Now, if you eliminate all those experiences, right, and you get to point A to point B, if you suddenly became rich and wealthy in the first place, how do you maintain that? You most likely will not maintain that because you haven't got experiences to maintain your wealth. For example, a lottery winners, right? People who win the lotteries, people who just inherit a lot of money at once, right? They tend to lose that money immediately or don't know how to maintain their wealth. Like athletes, right? A lot of athletes file for bankruptcy because they're given this wealth immediately and they didn't know how to maintain this wealth over time, over experiences, right? Or lottery winners, right? Because they're giving this wealth away. A lot of lottery winners file for bankruptcy because when you get this much wealth, you don't know what to do with it. You make poor choices in life, poor investment, right? And they used to go bankrupt, right? And because they don't have the experiences to maintain the wealth and money in their life. Now, when it comes to an already wealthy person, for example, like Warren Buffett, right? How did he become the richest man? Well, and how did he maintain that wealth, right? Because he got to the places that he got to because of his experiences. He used his experiences, his mistake in life experiences, to prevent him from making these mistakes, from falling to the pitfalls of reality, pitfalls of life, so he won't waste all his wealth. This is what led him to maintain and make him so wealthy and maintain his position as a wealthy person for so many years because all of his life experiences, right? Not only Warren Buffett, but many, many, many other wealthy people out there. The reason why they maintain that wealth is because of their experiences in life, right? That help them maintain that wealth in life, right? This is why I always like to use the bankrupt lottery winner. This is why lottery winner always file for bankruptcy. They just receive money without gaining experiences how to handle that money, how to maintain that money, how to diversify that money, how to find the right people to handle that money as well. All right. So there's no shortcut. If there's shortcut, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're lacking yourself. You're hurting yourself, right? Here's another analogy. Another analogy I'll use for you to do not take shortcuts in life, right? I played a game, right? It was an RPG game. Right? I think it was Final Fantasy X, right? On the PS2, right? I want to, because when I play games for the storyline. I don't usually like to play games for playing games to get experiences points, right? I like the stories. I just want to get to the points and watch the stories. So what I did was I played a game, right? With RPG game, the thing is with RPG games, in order to get to the next level to beat the bosses, you have to get experience points, right? Meaning that if you want to beat the bosses, you have to get experiences by beating the lower level enemy first, right? You have to do grinding. You have to grind through the game, up your level, gain experiences points by beating all the low level enemy first, right? Now I didn't have patience for that. I just skipped right through the part where you have to beat the low level enemy, and I just beat the bosses one by one by one. When I get to the point where I can't beat this bosses, right? This one particular bosses, because my level was too low. I keep dying and dying and dying because I took the shortcut instead of me trying to gain experiences and level up my characters. Right? It inhibited me. It prevent me from beating the bosses that I need to boss to get through the whole stories. Right? That's one analogy. You have in order to beat the bosses, right? You have to beat the lower level enemy first, so you get the experience points. Right? Once you gain those experience points in the game, then you could beat the masters. Same goes with life. Right? Same goes with life. And you want to be wealthy, right? Wealth is that boss, right? To maintain that wealth, that experience, the experiences point to maintain that wealth, right? So there's no shortcut. In order to build stronger, you have to go through pain, right? In order to be a bigger, buffer guy in life, right? You have to push yourself, break all the muscle tissues, and build yourself back up again so you can be stronger, right? So you can be a bigger, buffer guy. That's the thing. You cannot get to a scrawny guy, a weak guy, to a buff guy overnight. You have to work it out through all those years of exercises and dedication and through pain, right? To get to that point. There's no shortcut. Shortcut does not work in life, right? Shortcut does not benefit anybody. Look at those wealthy kids, right? They never earn a single dime, right? Of their parents' money, right? They never earn a single dime. And what happened? Most of these kids who inherit all these wealth through their trust fund and through all these stuff, right? They mainly waste it away, right? It's given to them without them earning it. That's the same way. That's the same way with these entitlement society. They expect to get something in life without earning it. And what does that do? Right? They can collapse on their own entitlement. You have to earn what you work for. If you don't earn what you work for, it's only destroying you at the end. Right? So there's no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in life, because if you take shortcuts, you're destroying yourself. You only set yourself up for failure. Right? In math, right? In order to get to calculus, right? You have to take all these remedial math classes, algebra, geometry, whatever it is, and build yourself up so you can get to the main courses. Because the courses that you need to take, the higher level courses, the foundation of it is built on these lower level courses you have to take. Right? So you just can't get to basic math to calculus immediately. You have to take these other courses as well. And that's what life is. In a nutshell, you have to go through all these stuff before you get to the main event. Right? In a video game, you have to beat the lower level enemy first before you get to the main boss. And when you beat the main boss, is self-gratifying, right? Because you work your way up there and it's more fulfilling, right? When you work for your money, at the end of the day, it's more fulfilling than it is for you to get the paycheck, right? Why do you think that it's easier for you to spend money that you didn't earn than it is for money that you do earn, right? With money that you bust your ass for in a 9 to 5, right? You'll tend to understand why it takes so hard to get this money, right? You're more reluctant to relinquish this money as to money that is given to you, right? That you're easily to spend, right? If I'm given $1 million that I didn't earn, it's easier for me to spend. As to if I were to work for $1 million, it's hard for me to spend because I know the time and effort I put into that $1 million, right? It's just an example, right? If my like welfare, right? People don't earn that money; they just usually spend those money as soon as they get it. The people who's on welfare compared to people who's working a 9 to 5. People who work 9 to 5, they're reluctant to spend all those money because they know the hard work and effort they put into it to make that money. Right? So you should not take shortcuts in life. Shortcuts will only defeat you. It's self-defeating. Shortcut is doing yourself a disservice in life because you will not learn the effort in order to get to that one position that you want to get in life. Right? You will not know how hard it is for you to maintain that when you get to that position in life, right? So at the end, when you get to that point and you took the shortcut way, you're only destroying yourself at the end because you're lacking certain skills and attribution to maintain that wealth when you get to your goal. On that note, guys, if I missed something, leave a comment below. On that note, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next video. And peace and blessings.